The painting that has been found in South Africa, the painting is more like a scribbling. This is an indigenous art of Madurai, and Madurai, you know, has been a very important city in South India. Teaching is a very integral component of classical dance forms, which is absent in folk dance forms, wherein the community dances are more prevalent rather than these. Footwork is a very important element in terms of Kathak. This also forms as one of the questions. Gut bhav, dance without music or chanting.
हेलो एवरीवन एंड वेलकम टू पीडब्ल्यू OnlyIAS। दोस्तों, आप सभी लोग सोच रहे होंगे कि मैं कहाँ से आ गया। वैसे तो देखो, जिस पर्सन के लेक्चर्स आप लोग सुनने आए हो उनको इंट्रोडक्शन की ज़रूरत नहीं है। बस मैं आपको ये बताने आया हूँ कि एक आईपीएस से पढ़ना, एक आईपीएस ऑफिसर से पढ़ना अपने आप में सब्जेक्ट का एक वो नोशन खोल देता है जो शायद आप अपने से पढ़ते तो शायद ना कर पाते। तो ये क्या छोटे छोटे से नुस्खे हो सकते हैं, ट्रिक्स हो सकते हैं किसी भी चीज़ को पढ़ने के। तो आज आशना चौधरी हमारे साथ आएंगी और ये आप लोग को डेफिनेटली इस लेक्चर में आगे प्रोसीड करेंगी। उससे पहले आप सभी लोगों के लिए ना, आपके जो भी प्रीलिम्स वाले भी बच्चे हैं ना, उनके लिए एक छोटी सी इन्फॉर्मेशन यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है। ये एक ऑल इंडिया ओपन प्रीलिम्स मॉक टेस्ट है जो कि फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट है और आप डेफिनेटली इन डेट्स को अपने कैलेंडर में सेव कर सकते हो। ये 31 मार्च, 14 अप्रैल, 5 मई और 2 जून, ये 4 डेट्स पर ना ये आपके ऑल इंडिया ओपन प्रीलिम्स मॉक टेस्ट कंडक्ट होंगे। वैसे तो देखो, अगर ऑफलाइन में अगर आपको बिल्कुल रियल फीलिंग के साथ में सब कुछ देना है ना, तो ये 4 ऑफलाइन सेंटर्स हैं, करोल बाग, मुखर्जी नगर, लखनऊ और पटना। इनके बारे में और डिटेल एड्रेस चाहिए तो डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा। और इनफैक्ट अगर आप इन 4 जगहों पर नहीं आ सकते हैं फिर भी टेंशन मत लो, आपके लिए ऑनलाइन जो लिंक है वो भी डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिया हुआ है, आप वहां पर भी जाके देख सकते हैं। और ये ध्यान रखना कि इंग्लिश और हिंदी दोनों मीडियम्स वाले स्टूडेंट के लिए ये टेस्ट अवेलेबल होगा। साथ ही साथ अब ये समझो कि अगर ऐसे कोई एस्पिरेंट है जो कि यूपीएससी के बारे में सोच रहा है और लगता है कि नहीं आगे चल के प्रिपरेशन करेंगे, उनके लिए मैं सजेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ OnlyIAS की एडिटोरियल डिस्कशंस को, जो कि यहीं यूट्यूब पर ही आपको मिल जाएगी। तो आप डेफिनेटली पीडब्ल्यू OnlyIAS चैनल पर विजिट कीजिए और वहाँ पर आप सुमित सर के एडिटोरियल डिस्कशंस को बहुत अच्छे तरीके से समझ सकते हैं। ये आपको ना एक विजन देगा कि कैसे यूपीएससी की तैयारी होती है, क्या क्या सब्जेक्ट्स इसके अंदर आते हैं, किन टॉपिक्स को हमें पिक करना चाहिए, अपना ब्रॉड पर्सपेक्टिव किसी एक पर्टिकुलर इशू के लिए कैसे बनाना चाहिए, वो सारी चीज़ें आपको धीरे धीरे समझ में आने लगेगी और आपको प्रिपरेशन में मज़ा आने लगेगा। और इनफैक्ट अगर आप ये ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं और आप चाहते हैं कि यूपीएससी के लिए आप डेफिनेटली एक सीरियस मोड में प्रिपरेशन करना चाहते हैं, तो उसके लिए पीडब्ल्यू OnlyIAS की तरफ से बहुत सारे ऐसे अफोर्डेबल कोर्सेज हैं जो कि 9499 से ही स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं। आपको इसमें बहुत सारे अच्छे अच्छे फीचर्स मिलते हैं, जैसे कि आपको लाइव लेक्चर्स मिलते हैं। लाइव लेक्चर्स के बाद अगर आपके जो भी डाउट्स वगैरह हैं आप डायरेक्टली टीचर से बात करके सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस मिलते हैं, बहुत सारे आपके नोट्स मिलते हैं, स्टडी मटेरियल्स मिलते हैं। इन सब के साथ अगर आप इन सभी कोर्सेज में सेलेक्ट 360 अगर ऐड कर लेते हैं तो उसमें आपके डेली बेसिस पर मेंटोरशिप मिल जाती है। इसके अलावा जो भी आप आंसर्स डेली लिखते हैं ना, उनको हम डेली इवेल्युएट करके आपको देते हैं। तो बिल्कुल डे 1 से आपका बिल्कुल तगड़ा प्रिपरेशन होता है। और साथ ही साथ आप इसमें एक चीज़ और ध्यान देना कि इस पूरे एग्जाम जर्नी में एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्शन है, वो है आपके ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट्स का। तो यहाँ पर बहुत सारे ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट्स लिखे हैं, आप इन सभी ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट्स की प्रिपरेशन भी पीडब्ल्यू OnlyIAS के प्लेटफॉर्म से कर सकते हैं। अगर आप इन किसी भी बैचेस के बारे में कुछ भी एक्स्ट्रा इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहते हैं तो नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में बहुत सारे लिंक्स दिए हुए हैं, आप उन पर क्लिक करके विजिट कर सकते हैं। तो चलिए बिना देरी किए हुए हम बुलाते हैं आशना चौधरी मैम को, वो आगे आके आप लोग को इस टॉपिक के बारे में आगे पढ़ाना स्टार्ट करेंगी। थैंक यू।
Hello everyone, this is Aashna Chaudhary, UPSC CSE 2022, All India Rank 116, and I'm here at PW OnlyIAS talking about art and culture, and paintings would be the main topic in today's class, along with some GI tags, geographical indication tags. So these are the 2 topics that I'm gonna be talking about in today's lecture, and do not be worried about anything because you'll get a link of the PPT from the description. You'll get some practice tests, some revision tests. Those will be, the link for the same will also be uploaded, and some revision videos, upcoming revision videos. The link for the same will also be uploaded in the description below. So we can start the class now, and I really hope that I'm able to deliver much out of this video. It's a free initiative by PW OnlyIAS solely for you to benefit out of the same. So here this is me starting with today's class. And today's class, as I've already told you about, would comprise of paintings and GI tags. So here we start with the paintings part of today's class, wherein I am going to be talking about some of the paintings which are in news and which have been frequently in news over the past year as well. So when we talk about these paintings, here the flow of the session would begin from one paintings. Here the paintings are mostly the ones who are in that feature in the current affairs. So current affairs become a major, or rather a starting point for us to do the painting. So what we are covering here is mostly the current affairs, the paintings that kept repeating. The paintings that kept repeating in were repeatedly there in the news. So these are the paintings that we'll cover here. Some of these paintings are, we have found out the oldest cave art here. That has been very much in news and becomes a very, very, very important starting point for us. Then we have various paintings such as Pattachitra painting, where that has been mentioned by the Prime Minister of India in his Man Ki Baat, the program which is aired, Man Ki Baat. So that has been featured, or that has been, or the Prime Minister himself spoke about the painting. Then we have a few paintings from Tamil Nadu, paintings as well as crafts. So here you are going to see a painting which is paintings as well as some wooden crafts that we would be talking about, and that have been in news because they have been provided geographical indication. So from here we would, after this, we would elaborate on what geographical indication is. So we'll provide you a detail of the basics regarding geographical indication. And after we are done with the basics, I would give you a chart of a few GI tags which are either widely known or have been recently given the GI tag status. So this would be roughly the flow of the lecture, and the flow of the lecture would, paintings is the major focus here. However, I'm really sorry. Okay, so paintings is the major focus here. And thereabout from this section, we would come to the GI tags. So paintings and GI tags are the two topics that I would cover during the course of the lecture, and GI tags emanating from the paintings and the woodwork itself, because some of the paintings from Tamil Nadu have been given the status of given the GI tag. All right. So now we begin with the first painting. We begin with the first painting that we were gonna do. This is the painting which has been found in Indonesia. So the painting which has been found in Indonesia, it says the world's oldest known cave painting found in Indonesia. The world's oldest known cave painting. So here the focus is on worlds. The focus comes on worlds because India's, we know that the oldest India's cave painting has been found in Bhimbetka. It's a Paleolithic period painting. In India, it is Bhimbetka, and Bhimbetka dates back to approximately, I don't exactly know the year, but approx 30,000 years ago. So it dates back to approx 30,000 years ago. Bhimbetka. We are talking about Bhimbetka, and this is India's oldest. Here, India is the focus, India's oldest. However, now we are talking about the world's oldest known. So, world's oldest known cave painting, known is another wordplay here. So when you talk about known, why has known been written here? So this is not just to make it an elaborate sentence, but we have used known here in order to give you a trivia, because this is not the oldest cave painting. The oldest cave painting is has been found in South Africa. It has been found in South Africa and it goes back to 73,000 years ago. Here the cave painting is 45,000 years ago. 45,500 years ago, the painting has been found to be that old. Whereas we also have a painting which is 73,000 years ago, which was made 73,000 years ago. So there is roughly a gap of 20,000 years ago. A roughly a gap of around 20,000 years. So this gap features in this word, known. So when we talk about the painting that has been found in South Africa, the painting is more like a scribbling. It's more like people take a pen or brush or something and they make random figures. So here the figure has been found to be a hash like figure. So this is more like a random scribbling that has been done in South Africa, but a known painting that we definitely know represents a figure of a wild boar or a warty pig has been found in Sulawesi, Indonesia. So the world's second known cave painting found in Indonesia. So this is the painting very much in news. Talking about this painting, what becomes important? First of all, the world's oldest known cave painting becomes important. India's oldest known cave painting is in Bhimbetka, 30,000 years ago. And world's oldest cave painting is in South Africa. However, world's oldest known cave painting is in Indonesia. All right. So now after you know this, so yes, after you know that world's oldest known cave painting has been found in Indonesia, what is the thing that you need to know about this painting? One, the first thing that you need to know about is how old is it? How old? So when you're talking about an oldest, when you're talking about in terms of number, how old is it? It's 45,500 years old. And how do you know that it is this old? So there is a very scientific technique or a technique which is used in archaeology, has been used to find out, which is a uranium series. A uranium series radiometric technique. All right, so we know how old the painting is. And the question comes, how do we know how old the painting is? We know it because we have conducted a scientific research, which is the uranium series radiometric technique, which has shown us that it is 45,000 years old. So uranium series technique is one of the various radiometric techniques which are used to identify the age of a fossil. So here, some of the uranium series are uranium. I am going like you do not need to know all of this, but since I had anthropology as my optional and therein we dealt with archaeology, so I'm talking about uranium lead could be one radiometric technique, one of the uranium series radiometric technique. Another could be uranium thorium radiometric techniques. So these are various uranium series radiometric techniques, and generally the success, generally they only differ by 1% or 1.5%. So this is a highly reliable uranium series radiometric technique, is a highly reliable dating technique, and hence we know the age to be so precise. There could be a 1% or 1.5% differential that could come here, but it's okay. Roughly the age would be this. Still makes it the oldest. Now we're talking about the location. So we have seen the first one, how old, and how do we know it is this old? So that has been our focus, how old the painting is and how the technique that has been used to identify its age in particular. And now we move to the third one, which is the location. So the location becomes very important of the fossil, which has also been mentioned in your opening line, found in Indonesia. So the location is Indonesia, and to be precise, it's Sulawesi, Indonesia. Right? Sulawesi, Indonesia. Now, the fourth thing that you need to be knowing about this painting, the fourth thing would be what is the painting, what has been found. If it is known, then precisely you would know what exactly the painting contains, and it is the painting of a warty pig. It's the painting of a warty pig, as you can see in the background. All right, I have scribbled a lot on this, but it is still visible that it is the painting of a warty pig, right? So now we know how old the painting is, what is the technique that has been used to identify or to date the painting, and the location of the painting, as well as what the painting contains. Now we will talk about what the painting contains. This I've already told you. This this is a trivia that emanates from the topic itself, right? So yes, this is roughly what you need to know about the painting: how old the painting is, technique that has been used to date the painting, the location where the painting is located, and what the painting is about. All right. When we have already done this, now we move on to the next one. And the next painting that has been very much in news has been the Pattachitra painting. And I have already told you why the painting has been in news so much. So the painting has been so much in news because Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, he talked about an artist who is involved in making Pattachitra painting. This is Bhagyashree Sahu, and she's a young student from Rourkela in Odisha who makes these paintings, and this particular person has been mentioned in Prime Minister's Man Ki Baat, and that's why the painting also becomes important. So now if we talk about the Pattachitra painting, we begin with knowing its etymology. It comprises of two words, Pat and Chitra. Right, and the meaning of these two words are Pat meaning canvas and Chitra meaning picture. So Pat is your canvas and Chitra being the picture. A picture painted on a canvas. However, the play here is that the canvas here is not a paper canvas. It's not paper. However, it is made out of cloth. So this painting is mostly done on a piece of cloth, right? So this is a Pattachitra painting wherein the painting is made on a piece of cloth. Next would be, so after we are done with the etymology, we move towards the location. Where is the painting found? Pattachitra painting is mostly found in the eastern part of the country. Right, and in particular when we say eastern part, so eastern part, you should try to remember the location of the paintings or the locations from the broader region that the painting is found in. So we have eastern part of the country, you find these paintings, and in particular eastern part, if you have to give two states where the painting is found, it is found in West Bengal and it is found in Odisha. Contiguous areas very close to each other, eastern coast. So you have West Bengal and Odisha where this painting is particularly found. So now we know the etymology, we know the location of this painting, and if we move forward, you also get to know about the theme of the painting. So you also get to know about the theme of the painting if we move forward. Sorry. So yeah, you also get to know about the theme of the painting if we move forward. So theme. And what is the theme of the painting? You can already see here. The theme of the painting emanates from the life of Jagannath. You already have a hint what the theme would be when I talked about this painting coming mostly from West Bengal or Odisha. So when I talked about this painting coming from West Bengal or Odisha, you knew that Jagannath temple is found in Odisha, and there is the Vaishnava Vaishnava sect is very prominent in Odisha. So the painting's theme would also be based on the Vaishnava sect. The painting's theme would also be based on the Vaishnava sect, and Jagannath is a prominent theme in these paintings. All right. So in Odisha, now the variations of the painting, if we say, one would be the Pattachitra painting. We know Pattachitra painting, which is being followed in Odisha, wherein Jagannath is mostly the theme. And then in Bengal, this becomes Kali Ghat. Kali Ghat Pattachitra, because Kali Ghat paintings are also centered around similar themes. So here it becomes Kali Ghat Pattachitra in West Bengal. Right. Next would be colors. So we are getting into a little bit of detail regarding these paintings. Talking about the colors that are used, one thing that you need to remember is that the colors used are natural. You do not need to remember where exactly red color is made from, where exactly green color they get, where exactly blue color they get. But that these colors are all natural. These are the natural colors derived from the natural ingredients that are used in these paintings. All right, so green can come from chalcedony or something. I mean, you don't need to remember exactly what are the how individual color is made, but that these colors are natural. These are not artificial colors, and the paintings are very colorful, as you can see here. You have used blue color here, you have used green color here, there is a tinge of orange here, then you have black here. So a lot of colors, green and all these colors are used, but all of these colors are natural, mind you. Then we have popular themes. Theme we have already seen, it is Jagannath Vaishnava sect, and these are the themes that are in particular given, all related to Vaishnavism, if as you can see. So you have a theme of Thiyabadhya, you have Krishna Leela, the things that Krishna did as a child. Then you have the Shavtar Patti, the 10 avatars that Vishnu took, and one of those avatars was Krishna, of course. And then you have Panchamukhi, wherein Lord Ganesh has been depicted here. So now we have seen Pattachitra painting. So we have done Pattachitra. And when we did Pattachitra, we began from its etymology. We did its etymology. The meaning of the two words Pat and Chitra. We did the location where the painting is found, the themes of the painting, the various themes of the painting, sub-variations such as Kali Ghat Pattachitra, sub-variations, and the colors that have been used, and the colors are all natural colors. Right, so what we have done is, we have done etymology, Pat and Chitra and its meaning, Pat Chitra, and the painting is made on cloth. So this becomes very important. Location, West Bengal and Odisha, which forms the eastern region, right? And then you have themes related to the Vaishnava sect. And then you have sub-variations such as Kali Ghat. And the colors used are all natural colors. So this is, do you see how I have done the entire, or covered the entire painting here? I have divided it into 5 themes. So that's how I suggest you to be doing all your answers. You should divide them into 5 themes, and then it becomes very easy for you to classify. So what your notes for Pattachitra painting would contain is etymology, location, themes, sub-variations, colors, and one line for each of them. So this is all the concise part that you need to know in order to be able to understand about the paintings, right? Next painting, we are going to talk about Karuppur Kalamkari painting, and along with Karuppur Kalamkari painting, we would know Kallakurichi wood carvings as well. So Kalla Kurichi wood carving. So these are the two things that we take simultaneously. Karuppur Kalamkari paintings and Kalla Kurichi wood carvings, right? So talking about the Karuppur Kalamkari painting, if you talk about the Kalamkari painting, first of all, we would begin with why in news. Why in news, and I have already told you why in news, right? Because GI recognition. GI recognition, right? Next, why in news? In news because they have been recognized recently. GI recognition they have been provided. Now, if you talk about Kalamkari painting, it is mostly found in the region of Andhra Pradesh. However, here we are talking about Kalamkari painting and we are talking about the region which is Tamil Nadu. How do we identify the region? So here location becomes an important thing. Location for both these would be Tamil Nadu. And it is fairly easy for you to understand because they have been named on the basis of location. So Karuppur, it's a town in Tamil Nadu, and Kallakurichi, another place in Tamil Nadu. So this, do not make a note of this, that you do not only need to do it from the point of view of art and culture. You can also see how these could be your places in news. So, for instance, there are questions that we have seen wherein you have to match. You have to make a match of which place belongs to which state. So there can be, you might get a question on place here and location, state here. And there can be one of the options wherein you have Karuppur and the state written may be Andhra Pradesh. And you have another option wherein you are given Kallakurichi and the place might be written Tamil Nadu, right? And then in the question you would be asked which option is correct. Only one, only two, both, 1 and 2, neither 1 and 2. So you know it is only 2. Right, so these are the questions that can form in your prelims as well. And here the question has not come as a part of art and culture, but as a part of geography. So this, be mindful of these things. So because of these GI tags, which are, because of the GI tags that are based on the location, because of the GI tags that are based on the location, you also get to know your geography, you are also able to get some of the questions of your geography correct, right? So now what we are doing in the paintings, I've already shown you how art and culture can help you, how these topics from art and culture can also help you tackle your geography questions in the prelims as well. So these are, so now what we know about these paintings is why in news, the location of these paintings, which is also given by the name of the paintings. So location of these paintings has been another feature that we have done here. Next would be the history of the paintings. However, the history of the paintings, while the history is not as important for other paintings, for this painting history becomes very important. Why does it become so important? It becomes so important because this history coincides with your coincides with the art and culture syllabus or the ancient history or the medieval India syllabus that there is, because this was begun in 17th century and belongs to a very important period in Vijayanagar. Vijayanagar Empire, we have seen questions coming from Vijayanagar Empire a lot, especially after 2013. And so when you're talking about the Nayaka regime, when did it come up? It come up in the 17th century, and this comes from the Amar Nayaka system. This follows from the Amar Nayaka system that was practiced during the time of that was practiced during the time of Krishna Deva Raya. Krishna Deva Raya, who has been the most popular king of Vijayanagar, and has also been a writer who has written a book Amukta Malyada as well. Amukta Malyada as well. So see, what I am doing here is I am linking everything. So when I'm studying paintings, I'm not isolating my study of painting. The moment I get reminded of history, I would link it to the Nayaka period, 17th century. I know that this is when the Nayaks started ruling the Vijayanagar kingdom. And these Nayaks stem from the Amar Nayaka system, which was followed during the reign of Krishna Deva Raya, who has also written a book called Amukta Malyada. Amukta Malyada book has been written on the life of Andal. On the life of Andal, who was a Bhakti saint. Right. So all of these things emanate from your history. So history, 17th century Nayaka regime, and how does Nayaka regime fall? I have stretched it a little too far, but why? For you to understand that this is how you need to do your history. You need to know each and every bit of your history. And this is one way how, when you say how do we revise, this has been one way that I have revised the entire slightly Vijayanagar Empire. So Vijayanagar Empire, which I read as a separate topic, but whenever I see this Nayaka or 17th century, I would instantly be taken back to my ancient history and to my medieval history, and would revise Vijayanagar Empire, some bits that are related to this. So that's how it has also become a part of my revision. So now you know why these have been in news. What is the location? Location, because the names also give the location and can also be used for your geography. You know the history of these paintings now. And now we study some of the features of the painting. So Pattachitra painting, you knew that it is done on a piece of cloth. And here, Karuppur Kalamkari paintings, again, these are based on cloth. However, here the cloth is very much specific. It will only be a cotton cloth. Here the cloth would only be a cotton cloth. And if you see, these paintings, you identify that these paintings have their origin in the religious theme. How do you know that these paintings have their origin in the religious theme? You know that they have their origin in the religious theme because initially these paintings were done in order to adorn temples. In order to adorn temples, these paintings were done, as has been written here, that they were used for the umbrella covers in temples, cylindrical hangings, chariot covers, asmanagiri. So for all these things which are associated with temples, these paintings were used. Now we would move on to the next one, which is Kallakuruchi wood carvings. Kallakuruchi wood carvings. So we are taking both these things together. Kallakuruchi wood carvings. Right. Again, if you see why in news becomes the first topic, similar GI tag. Why in news. Next would be location. You know Kallakuruchi in Tamil Nadu. So Kallakuruchi wood carvings would also be in Tamil Nadu. Again, we are talking about history. There the history was, there the paintings dated back to 17th century during the regime of the Nayaks. Here, this is an indigenous art of Madurai, and Madurai, you know, has been a very important city in South India. Very important city in South India. During the Sangam period, as well as the period of imperial Cholas. So that is why it is written here that various different monarchical regimes in ancient times, this art was practiced. This art was practiced during different monarchical regimes in ancient times. Now we will look at the features. Right. So if we look at the features, what exactly do you find here? You again find that this is rooted in the religious theme. This is rooted in the religious theme because these wood carvings were initially used to adorn the temples. And how to adorn the temples? How were they used to adorn the temples? Because here the furniture or the deities in the temples were carved using this technique of Kallakurichi wood carvings. So again, if we have to summarize all our study of these things, so Tamil Nadu craft would be the broader heading that we would give to the study of these. And here we divide it into two. One would be the Karuppur Kalamkari paintings and the other would be the Kallakurichi wood carvings, right? So when we do this, again we will divide it into sub-themes. One would be why in news. Another would be the history. After history, you would be concerned about the location. After location, you would be concerned about the features. So now we divided the entire study into 4 themes. Why in news, history, location and features. Why in news, GI tag. GI tag. There is a similarity, that is why we are studying both of them together. History, 17th century. Nayaka regime. And here the history dates back to Madurai temples, right? Then you have location, Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, the name itself gives away the location. Karuppur and Kallakurichi. Next you have is features. Here the features would be, one would be the religious theme. The religious theme because used in temples. And the other would be that it is done on cotton cloth. Here the feature would be that it is based on, it has religious origins, as this woodwork was used in furniture that was used in temples, right? So this is how you can actually sum up your entire lesson here, entire lesson on a particular theme here. How difficult is it for you to remember this when you have reduced everything to smaller bits? So it becomes really easy for you to remember this. So that's where we end our discussion of paintings and we move towards geographical indication status. And I would just talk about GI tags in passing. I wouldn't in passing I would talk about these GI tags. I wouldn't create a very big lecture out of this particular topic, because we have mentioned GI status. Why are we studying GI status? Because we have seen this being mentioned too much in our lessons, especially on Tamil Nadu crafts, Karuppur Kalamkari painting as well as Kallakurichi wood carvings. They were in news because they were granted GI status, right? So when we have mentioned GI status, we can't leave you hanging as to what a geographical indication status is or what does a geographical indication tag means. Right. Now talking about GI tag, so it is written here geographical indication tag. From geographical, you know this would be giving away specific location. And if this is the one, if this tag indicates certain geography, there needs to be some unique feature involved here. So this is a unique, piece of art and craft or other goods that is specific to a particular location. Easy. And is recognized for the same. honestly speaking, I never knew this definition before now. I just invented this. You know, geographical indication tag, commonsensically, this would be the only definition that would come up. If this is indicating something, if this becomes an indication parameter, it should have certain unique features. So unique piece of art and craft or other goods that is specific to a particular location, because geography is involved here, and is recognized for the same. Now, why did I write and is recognized for the same? Because there is a recognition given to when we talk about GI tag, because we have seen that the two crafts from Tamil Nadu were given this status, so they are definitely recognized in some form. And how are they recognized becomes a question now. So what becomes a point of recognition for these? How are they recognized? They are recognized because they are given this status under the ambit of this act, the Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999. So this is provided not only recognition, legitimacy in some form, these artworks, legitimacy in some form, but also legality, because they come under the scope of a law, and that law is GI of Goods Act 1999, right? So this becomes your GI tag. So this was the trivia that I wanted to talk about GI tags. And this there is not only a legal recognition involved, because it comes under the domestic law, or the law that is or the law at the national level, but also because it gains recognition out of World Trade Organization's TRIPS, trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. So this is very well recognized under intellectual property rights of World Trade Organization. So these are, in one manner, this is also being provided global recognition, right? Or maybe protected, or not global recognition, but is protected by an international agreement, or sorts, protected by WTO, or the features of WTO as well, right? So this becomes one thing, GI tag. So this is all that we need to know about GI tag as of now. So GI tag, all right, so this is what we have studied about GI tag. One, what do you mean by GI tag? So meaning of GI tag, right? Why are we studying it? Because it is in news. Why are we studying GI tags? Because news. Legal protection, and international equivalent, right? So this is what we studied about GI status, meaning of a good having a GI status. Why are we studying GI status? What is the legal protection in India, and what is the international equivalent of the legal protection in India that allows your nation to protect legally this GI status? So now these are certain GI tags which have been in news from time and again. And so we have products. here we have categories here, and we have states or UTs. So generally how the questions are framed here for prelims, you would be given the products, you would be given the states or UTs where these products belong. These might be jumbled up, and again you would be asked only one is correct, only two is correct, both one and two are correct, neither one nor two is correct. Or you can be given four in a line and asked only one is correct, only two are correct, only three are correct, all are correct. So these are the two ways that the questions might be formed from here. Sometimes the categories might also come into play. So you might get a question as to consider the following statements about Kandhamal Haldi. It is found in Tamil Nadu. It is one statement would be it is found in Tamil Nadu. And the Tamil Nadu Kandhamal is not found. Kandhamal is found in Odisha. Tamil Nadu turmeric is very famous, but it is found in Salem. So this could be one statement, and the other statement could be Kandhamal Haldi has been protected under foodstuff category. Foodstuff category within GI indication, GI within GI Act. You know it is not found in Tamil Nadu, it is found in Odisha, and you know it is not found under the foodstuff category but the agricultural category. Right, so the questions may be statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct, both are correct, neither is correct. So you know that neither statement 1 nor statement 2 is correct, and that gives you a right answer in your prelims question, right? So these are the few geographical indication tags that I have given for you, and the PPT would be available to you via the link that has been given in the description below. So don't be do not become like anxious as to where we can access these products. These are only some. You need to do a little more, which time and again you would see coming up in the monthly magazines as provided by PW OnlyIAS as well. So these are the ones that you can do from there, and there are some you can easily identify. Kashmir saffron is one. Kashmir is already given here, and saffron mostly is found in Kashmir. Kishtwar district is famous. So Kishtwar of Kashmir you find saffron, so you would easily be able to know. Okay, so some of these are sheer based out of your common sense. So then you have Kandhamal. Kandhamal is an area in Odisha. So you know this is Odisha. And in the same manner, you can also use these for your questions related to geography as well. All right. Then again, Rashagulla, this was very much in news because there was, I think, a tussle between Odisha and West Bengal related to the same. So you need to know this. Then Kodai Canal, and if you know Kodai Canal is mentioned, it has to be Tamil Nadu because this is again a place in Tamil Nadu. Then Pondam, these are, sometimes it becomes difficult for you to remember northeastern states. So these I think you need to do. For instance, you have Mizo-Puanchi, so you know that Mizo has been written here, so it has to be Mizoram, right? So this is there. Then Gulbarg, when there is Gulbarg, it is in Karnataka, so it will be in Karnataka. Tirur, it has to be Kerala, right? Idu Mishmi, it has to be Arunachal Pradesh. Then Dindigul locks, so Dindigul has to be Tamil Nadu, right? Kandangi, again Tamil Nadu, because these are based on the name of the area. So do you see a pattern? So right, Srivilliputtur, Tamil Nadu again. So these are not only giving you the art and culture wala bit, but also helping you to do your places and news for geography as well. So you need to be really serious and do this out of understanding. So it becomes easier for you to remember these when you also know the places, that these places belong to this state. So it becomes very easy for you to remember this, right? So you can look this list up and try to remember it on your own. uh, okay, all right. I don't know why I'm erasing all this stuff, because anyway the PDF would be made available, the PPT would be made available to you. But all right, let me move to the next one and wrap up this lecture. So yeah, now what we are doing is we are wrapping up this lecture. What have we studied today? We have, our broad focus has been on art and culture. Art and culture. We have taken two topics. One has been paintings. The other has been uh, GI tags. Here we have done basics of GI tags and GI tags in news. Basics of GI tags and GI tags in news. Here we have done paintings in news. Paintings in news. And when we talked about paintings in news, which are the paintings that we did? The world's oldest known becomes very important here, cave painting, otherwise you might confuse it with the painting which has been found in South Africa. World's oldest known cave painting. Then we did Pattachitra. And after that we did Tamil Nadu crafts. Right, Tamil Nadu crafts. So this has been the focus of the class here, and I really hope that you benefit out of this class and you are able to associate things the way I did in terms of Tamil Nadu crafts and their history, right? So I really believe that this lecture was of help to you, and I have put in a lot of hard work in this. So please watch it. Please, this is free of cost, available freely to you, solely for the purpose of you to benefit out of this lecture. And that's how we wrap up this lecture. All the best to all of you, and thank you so much. Hi everyone, this is Aashna Chaudhary, UPSC CSE 2022, All India Rank 116. And I'm here again providing you another lecture from my lecture series for art and culture. And today we'll be talking about Indian dance forms as well as the musical forms. Before I begin the lecture, I would like to give you some details regarding the course. There is a description. Below this video, there is a description box, and in that description box, we have already attached a link to the practice test that you can avail, as well as the revision videos that you can avail from the platform. And the video that I'm going to shoot today is absolutely free for all. Please have a look at the same, and I hope you really benefit out of this video. So with this, we start today's lecture. And today's lecture, as I have said, is on Indian dance forms as well as music. It's on Indian dance forms as well as music. So we'll begin in this video. We'll take Indian dance forms primarily, followed by, in this video, we'll take Indian dance forms primarily, followed by music in the next video. So our flow for this lecture, which is a series of lecture, would be, first we'll cover Indian dance forms, followed by Indian music, musical instruments, and the folk dances and folk music. So this video will primarily be about Indian dance forms. This video would primarily be about Indian dance forms. Next video will cover two topics, which is Indian music and the musical instruments, and yet another video will take up folk dances and folk music, as whatever suits you, and however we'll cover all these topics in one or the other manner, and I really hope that this benefits you in one or the other manner again. So moving forward, we begin with our first topic, which will comprise an entire content matter for this video, which is the dance forms. And when we go about dance forms, we'll cover three topics the four topics in particular here. The first one covering history of dance forms. Here we'll talk about history of dance forms, followed by some aspects of dance forms. Here we'll cover some aspects of dance forms, which you'll get to know later on in the video what these aspects are, followed by some Indian classical dance forms. When we are making a separate video on Indian folk dance forms, this is a video on Indian classical dance forms. So Indian classical dance forms are majorly covered in this video, followed by the fourth one, which is proponents of dance forms. So some of the very popular proponents of dance forms will also be covered in this video. This video is mainly from the prelims point of view. We are covering art and culture from prelims point of view, and hence there would be a lot of information here. So stay tuned for the same. Talking about the history of dance form, I'll start with this point, wherein we talk about how dance form originated in India, or how do we get a hang of dance forms in India, going back to our history lectures. So talking about the history, we have all studied Paleolithic art forms at Bhimbetka, and we have found out some dancing figures within these Paleolithic Mesolithic, Chalcolithic dance forms, that art forms that we have found at Bhimbetka. So Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Chalcolithic, Neolithic, we have found art forms from all these periods at Bhimbetka caves. And among these art forms, we have also found various art forms that pertain to dancing as an activity. So dancing as an activity goes back to ages, especially in the Indian civilization. We are talking about Indian dance form. When we say history of dance, we are talking about India particularly, from the Indian perspective here. We are talking from the Indian perspective here. So we get instances of dance from Bhimbetka. We can extrapolate that dancing as an activity was very much prevalent during these times, as is evident from the art forms at Bhimbetka. Next, we have also found the sculpture of bronze dancing girl of the Harappan civilization. We have also found a sculpture of bronze dancing girl during the Harappan civilization. So Harappan civilization, which was roughly 3600 to 1400 BC, roughly here also we have recovered various sculptures wherein dancing as a predominant activity features, and here the bronze dancing girl is particularly famous. So yes, dancing, instances of dancing. So these are the first instances of dancing from India. These are the first instances of dancing from India that we can find. Next, we move on to the next period, which is Ved. So Vedic period. How do we link this to dancing as an art form? Dance as an art form. We link the Vedic period to dance as an art form from the various components of dance, that have been taken, from the four Vedas. The four Vedas are Rig Ved, Samved, Yajurved, and Atharva Ved. Rig Ved, Samved, Yajurved, and Atharva Ved. And we have, as is shown here, we have borrowed one or the other component from all these four Vedas. It is written here that we have taken words from Rig Ved, music, which is Geet, from Samved, gestures, which is Abhinay, from Yajurved, and emotions, which is Rasa, from Atharva Ved. So the Vedic component of dance comes from here. The words. We have taken various components from the four Vedas, such as words from Rig Ved, music from Samved, gestures from Yajurved, and emotions from Atharvaved. Emotions from Atharvaved. And it is because of this heavy borrowing of dance as an art form in India from Vedas that the earliest treatise on dance, which is Natya Shastra by Bharat Muni, has been called the fifth Ved. So much has been borrowed from the Vedas that a primary text or the first or the earliest text in India, which is based on dance, that is Natya Shastra by Bharat Muni, has been called the fifth Ved. It has been called the fifth Ved. So now, our first aspect, which was the history of dance, has been covered here. History of dance has been covered here. And when we talk about history of dance, we began with first instances of dance. First instances of dance. One from Bhimbetka, and the other from Harappa. Bhimbetka and Harappa, followed by components from Ved, components from 4 Vedas, followed by Natya Shastra as fifth Veda. Right? So this is, if I sum up my history of dance, I would cover these 3 points, and I think this is enough from the prelims point of view and enough for you to understand the history or the origins of dance form in India. Now we come to the aspects of dance, which is extremely important. Aspects of dance, we here look at 2 primary texts on dance, especially in India, one being Natya Shastra and the other being Abhinay Darpan. So as per Natya Shastra, there are 2 basic aspects of dance, one being the Lasya and the other being the Tandav. One being the Lasya and the other being Tandav. So when you talk about Tandav, it is an aggressive dance form. Whereas when you talk about Lasya, it is more feminine. And when we say feminine, we say there are soft gestures that are involved in Lasya dance form. However, there are very aggressive gestures that are involved in Tandav. Next, we move towards Abhinay Darpan, and the 3 basic elements as per Abhinay Darpan, one being Nrit, the other being Nritya, and the other being Natya. We all know Nrit would cater to the pure dance. This is pure dance. There are no gestures involved. There are no emotions involved. This is pure dance, which is called Nrit. Then you have Nritya, which is a combination of ras, a combination of bhav and pure dance. What is ras? Ras is emotions. As we have seen in the previous slide, emotions come from Atharvaved, and emotions come from Atharvaved. So yes, ras, bhav and pure dance. This is Nritya. And then you have Natya, which caters to the drama. So Nrit, which is pure dance, Nritya, which comprises of bhav, ras and pure dance. When we talk about bhav, this would be gestures, and these gestures come from Yajurved. Right? So this is ras, bhav and pure dance, and then you have Natya, which comprises of drama. Natya being drama. So we have seen 2 texts, one being Natya Shastra, which is your One being Natya Shastra, which is your fifth Ved, and the other being Abhinay Darpan, and how the various aspects of dance have been classified as per both the texts. As per Natya Shastra, there are two aspects, Lasya and Tandav. As per Abhinay Darpan, there are three elements, Nrit, Nritya and Natya. If we talk about the various emotions, as we have seen, Rasa is equal to emotions, which has been borrowed from Atharva Ved, So there are 8 emotions that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 emotions that we have. 9 primary emotions or 9 primary rasas. One being the Shringar Ras, which is symbolic of love, Shringar Ras. Another one being Rodra, which is symbolic of anger. Then you have Bibhastha, which is symbolic of disgust. Veer Ras, heroism. Shant Ras, peace and tranquility. You can see these are Hindi words which have just been translated. So it is not very difficult for you to identify which Ras is symbolic of what emotion. Hasya Ras would be symbolic of laughter and comedy. Karuna Ras would be tragedy. Bhayanak, horror. Then you have Adbhut, which symbolizes wonder. Adbhut Ras, which symbolizes wonder. So these are the 9 primary rasas, and what they are symbolic of, we have already seen. So this can come in the form of match the following. For instance, Shringar Ras, and you would have heroism here. Raudra Ras, you'll have love here. And then there is Bibhatsa Ras, you can have laughter here. And Veer Ras, there can be horror here. And then you can be asked how many of these statements is correct. How many of these statements are correct? Only one. Different options can be framed out of that, and then you'll have to do none of the above. Because Shringar Ras is for love, Raudra anger, Bibhatsa disgust, and Veer heroism, right? So this is how the questions might be formed in prelims. Let's hope there comes a question from here, because I'm really not sure if they would ask this. But yes, we have covered. So we need to do our bit. Indian classical dance form. Now we come to the third aspect. So before coming to the third aspect, again, I would like to summarize what we have studied till here. Among the Indian forms, Indian dance, that the broader topic that we are doing, we have covered the first one, which is on history. Talking about history, we have done first instance, Vedic relation, and Natya Shastra as fifth Ved. Next, we have covered aspects as per Natya Shastra, Abhinay Darpan, and various rasas, right? So this is what we have done as part of aspect. And then we move on to the third, which is Indian classical. So classical is important here. We are not talking about each and every dance form, but classical dance form. There are 2 kinds of dance forms, classical and folk, that we study as a part of art and culture, and the folk dance forms we'll do towards the end or maybe in the next video. But here we are concerned about the Indian classical dance forms, right? The Indian classical dance forms. Now let's move to the classical dance forms that we are doing. Begin with the Guru Shishya Parampara forms the core of Indian classical dance. So Indian classical dance, how do you identify that this is a classical dance and not a folk dance? Because of Guru Shishya Parampara, that means teaching is a very integral component of classical dance forms, which is absent in folk dance forms, wherein the community dances are more prevalent rather than these highly specialized dance forms. So when you see there is a Guru Shishya Parampara, these are specialized art forms. When I say art here, I mean, of course, performing art. Right? So these are specialized because there is a Guru Shishya Parampara involved. Next, how many dance forms do we have? We have 9 rasas. We have 9 rasas and we have 8 classical dance forms. 8 classical dance forms. These are Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathakali, Mohiniattam, Odissi, Manipuri, Kathak, and Sattriya. The term classical or Shastriya in Hindi, classical translates to Shastriya. Shastriya Sangeet, Shastriya Nritya was introduced by Sangeet Natak Academy. So the classification of dance into folk dance and into classical dance has been done by Sangeet Natak Academy for the purpose of you to understand these dance forms better. And the classical refers to a dance form where there is Guru Shishya Parampara. Right? So this is one distinguishing feature that is there. Established by the Education Ministry in 1952. So these are some points regarding Sangeet Natak Academy. So this was established by the Education Ministry. At that time, this was Ministry of Education. Later, it became Ministry of Human Resource Development. In 1952, Sangeet Natak Academy came into being in 1952 and established by Education Ministry. First chairman. These are some factual points from prelims point of view. First chairman being Dr. P.V. Rajmannar. Dr. P.V. Rajmannar. A dance style is classical to the extent that it incorporates Natya Shastra techniques. So this is another distinguishing feature. There are 2 distinguishing features that we have found. One, Guru Shishya Parampara. The other being that components of Natya Shastra should be there for a dance to be classified as classical dance. Some of the styles such as Kathak use very few elements from Natya Shastra, right? But still they have been classified as classical dance forms. So again, what we have studied, we have started with Indian classical dance forms, and this is slight information about the same. We have found 2 distinguishing features of Indian classical dance forms: borrowings from Natya Shastra or elements from Natya Shastra and Guru Shishya Parampara. Now, who classifies a dance to be a classical dance? This is Sangeet Natak Academy. Sangeet Natak Academy. And then you'll study a few factual points about Sangeet Natak Academy, right? So this is what there is, and the types of classical dance. Types of classical dance, there are 8 types of classical dance as per introduced or classified by Sangeet Natak Academy, these being Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathakali, Mohiniattam, Odissi, Manipuri, Kathak, and Sattriya. Indian classical dance forms, again, you can see, I mean, this is a very graphic representation of the same. Bharatnatyam, Kathak, Kathakali. Kathakali is a masked dance form. Kuchipudi, wherein the costume plays a very important role. Kuchipudi, Manipuri, Mohiniattam, and Odissi and Sattriya. Again, these can be classified into Tandav and Lasya dance forms as per Natya Shastra. And we'll see how it pans out in the coming features, wherein we study the features of all these dance forms. Talking about Bharatnatyam, we start our study of Indian classical dance from the study of Bharatnatyam. And there's a reason behind this, because this is the oldest surviving classical dance. So this is easier to remember because in our study of classical dance, we begin our study from Bharatnatyam, and there is a reason behind this because this is the oldest surviving. We have seen there were various dance forms that were there For instance, the dance form that we see, that we witness via Bhimbetka art, or the dance form that we witness via Harappan bronze dancing girl. However, bronze dancing girl. However, the oldest surviving classical dance form being Bharatnatyam. Over 2000 years old, it is over 2000 years old, often referred to as fire dance. Bharatnatyam, oldest surviving classical dance form, 2000 years old, and it is often known as fire dance. So these are the things that you need to remember for prelims. Derives its name from Bharat Muni. Bharat Muni, can you make a connection? Natya Shastra, fifth Ved. So it derives its name from Bharat Muni and is known as the fire dance. One of the 5 great epics of Tamil literature, there are 5 great epics of Tamil literature, Sillappatikaram. Sillappatikaram is an epic written by Ilanco article. I mean, you need to see the exact spelling. I'm really sorry, I might be falling back here. So Sillappatikaram has a direct reference to this dance form. So where do we find the reference to this dance form? It is in Sillappatikaram, which is one of the 5 great Tamil epics during the Sangam age, that came up during the Sangam age, and Sillappatikaram is by Ilanco article. Origin of Bharatnatyam is traced to the performance of temple dancers or devdasis. Performance of temple dancers or devdasis, hence also known as Dashyattam. Temple dancers, how do we trace the origin of this dance form? This is known as fire dance, and we trace the origins of this dance form to the temple dancers in Tamil Nadu, who were known as devdasis, and hence this dance form is also known as Dashyattam. So this dance form is known as fire dance. This is known as Dashyattam, and the name Bharatnatyam has been derived from Bharat Muni. Equal emphasis on Lasya, as I said, that the aspects we have to find, Lasya and Tandav. So there are soft features involved. There are a little aggressive dance steps or gestures which are involved here. Knees are mostly bent during dance recital. So in this dance, your knees would be habitually bent. Characterized by Ekcharya Lasyam style, one dancer playing many roles. All right. So these were some of the features of Bharatnatyam as a dance form. Oldest surviving classical dance form, over 2000 years old, also referred to as fire dance, and later on we get to know that it is also known as Dashyattam. A reason has been provided by the same because it finds its origin in the dance of the Devdasis. Bharat Muni derives its name from Bharat Muni, and one of the 5 great epics of Tamil literature, Sillappatikaram, has a direct reference to this dance form. Moreover, it lays equal emphasis on Lasya as well as Tandav dance forms. Then we move towards other aspects. So these are Thanjavur Quartet. Thanjavur, of course, you would know that it is in the Tamil region. Thanjavur Quartet defined elements of recital. Elements of recital in early 19th century. So these are elements of Bharatnatyam which were defined by Thanjavur Quartet. So these are 4 people: Chinnaya, Punya, Vadivelu and Shivanandam. I'm really sorry if I'm unable to pronounce them right because, these are certain limitations that I suffer from, not coming from the Tamil region. So these 4 people are known as Thanjavur Quartet. As you can see here as well, we have sketches of the same. So these four people have tried to make it easier for us to understand Bharatnatyam. They have defined four elements, various elements of Bharatnatyam, and these various elements being, I am not sure if I would be able to pronounce them correctly. So please forgive me for the same. Alarippu, dance postures with rhythmic syllables, Jati Swaram, pure forms, Shabdam. You get a lot of questions from Jati Swaram. Like we have seen a lot of questions from Jati Swaram. So these are pure forms. This is something you need to know. Shabdam, Abhinay in glory of God. Varna, fusion of dance and emotions with Tal and Rag. Padam, mastery over performance. Jawali, lyrics performed at faster tempo. Thillana, concluding stage. This is the concluding stage of Bharatnatyam, accompanied by rhythmic variations and dance. Thillana, I have seen questions from here as well. So we have seen questions from here. We have seen questions from here. I have seen question from here as well. Not necessarily in the previous year, but various mocks that you also give. So this becomes important, and I would highly advise that you do this chart carefully. All right. Then we move on to the next one, which is Kuchipudi. Kuchipudi is the name of a village. So in the Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. Talking about Bharatnatyam, the region being Tamil Nadu. Kuchipudi, it comes from Andhra Pradesh, directly deriving its name from the name of a village, which is in the Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh, originally performed by a group of actors going from village to village known as Kusselwas. So, the originally performed by group of actors going from village to village. Talking about Bharatnatyam, the origin was in the temple dance. Here, community dance. Community dancers going from village to village, known as Kusselwas. With the advent of Vaishnavism, so this has not only Bharatnatyam had temple origins, temple dance performed by dasis, devdasis, but also this has its origin in Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism, the dance form became a monopoly of the male Brahmins and began to be performed at temples. Origin in the community dance form, later on turned into a religious dance form wherein Vaishnavism was the prominent religious form that was worshipped here via this dance, and this was relegated to the sphere of the male Brahmins who would perform it in the temple. Stories of Bhagavad Puran became a central theme of the recitals, and the dancers came to be known as Bhagavathalus. Bhagavathalus. In the 17th century, Kuchipudi style of Yakshagan was conceived by Siddhendra Yogi, a talented Vaishnava visionary. So, Kuchipudi, we have seen where the region where it is performed, which is Andhra Pradesh, how the origin of this dance form happened, how it became religious dance form, and then the various sub-dance forms that developed, within this broader dance form. Again, talking about Kuchipudi, these are some of the features of Kuchipudi. It combines elements of both Lasya and Tandav. So this is the feature that we also find in Bharatnatyam. Combines elements of both Lasya and Tandav. It is very good for you if you combine these dance forms, combine the features and try to understand them then. For instance, the way I am doing it, I'm trying to associate it with Bharatnatyam and I'm trying to revise Bharatnatyam alongside this. So this is how you can do this. Predominance of Shringar Ras. When we talk about Shringar Ras, what is it symbolic of? It is symbolic of love. Principal performer introduces himself with a small composition of dance and song called Daru. Right, so here you have a principal performer, whereas in Bharatnatyam you have one performer with many roles. And here you have many performers, and that's how comes principal performer, right? Many performers arranged in a hierarchy sort of a thing. Then you have incorporates all three components of classical dance, as we see in Abhinav Darpan, Abhinay Darpan, Natya, Nritya and Nrit. Talking about Natya, it comprises of drama. Nrit, it comprises of pure dance plus bhav plus ras. And Nrit, this is pure dance, right? So these are the 4 features of Kuchipudi that you should know. So Kuchipudi, we have seen its where it is performed, its origin, how it became religious, what are the various sub-dance forms of Kuchipudi, and then various features, the 4 features of Kuchipudi. Next, we move towards the third dance form, the third classical dance form, which is Kathakali. Again, we'll start from the region where it is performed, native to the temples of Kerala. So all 3 dance forms and temples is common, from Bharatnatyam to Kuchipudi to Kathakali. Yeah, right. Temples became a common feature. So all of them have one or the other religious themes associated with them. These are the regions: Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and now you have Kerala. Etymology: Katha means story, Kali means drama, Kathakali. A drama with a story. So it translates to a drama, its literal translation being a drama with a story. Generally an all male group performance. So again, we have seen male Brahmins. We have seen how religion is closely associated with the primacy of male members, as we have seen in terms of male Brahmins in Kuchipudi and an all male dance group in Kathakali. Right. So from this we can also deduce that like Kuchipudi, Kathakali would be a group dance form. Unlike Bharatnatyam, wherein you have one performer in terms of Bharatnatyam. Right. Next, minimal use of props but elaborate facial makeup along with a headgear. So you do not have a lot of props here, but you have a very elaborate costume, as we have also seen in the picture in the previous slide, and I have also talked about the mask that they use during the performance at Kuchipudi, during the performance of Kathakali, right? Then symbolizes element of sky or ether. It is also called the Ballad of the East. Talking about Bharatnatyam, it is called Dashyattam. It is called fire dance, and Kathakali is called the Ballad of the East. The Ballad of the East, and here the major element being sky. Each color has its own significance. So we have seen there is a good play of color in Kathakali. The elaborate dress that they use, there is a very good use of color in that. Green color, which symbolizes nobility, divinity, and virtue. Red color, which symbolizes royalty. Black, evil and wickedness. Yellow, saints and women. Completely red painted face, evil. White beard, higher consciousness. Higher consciousness, beings with higher consciousness. So you see that the masks here in Kathakali have different colors, and each color would mean point towards the role that the performer is playing. As it is a group dance, there would be various performers with different colored masks, with each color symbolizing one or the other aspect related to the performers. In the temples of Kerala, we have already seen temple art form performed at Kerala, two forms of dance drama, Ramanattam and Krishnattam, narrating episodes from Ramayana, Ramanattam from Ramayana and Krishnattam from Mahabharata, latter became the source of Kathakali. So origins of Bharatnatyam from Dashiattam, origins of Kuchipudi from community dances, and Vaishnavism forming the base. Here, the origin are from two narrating episodes, Ramanattam and Krishnattam from Ramayana and Mahabharata, that form the origin of this dance form. Most recitals are a conflict between good and evil, where themes are drawn from epic and Purans. We have already seen Kathakali's etymology, where it means a drama with a story. A drama with a story to tell. And this story, the primary theme is good versus evil. And this theme is realized on the basis of costume, which is the primary prop for you, wherein there are different color masks that are used for you to identify good from evil or various other emotions that are played. Language used is Manipravalam, Malayalam plus Sanskrit. Importance of eye and eyebrows. So there are various eye gestures that are involved. 9 important facial expressions are called Navras. So here there is a focus on Navras, which is the facial expression. The arrival of dawn, accompanied with a continuous sound of drums, chenda and madala, marks the beginning and end of the recital. So there is a ritual which is associated with the beginning of the dance form as well as the end of the dance form. You know that the dance has begun, wherein this sound of drum is used, and when this sound of drum is used, you know that it now ends. So this is an entirely visual experience wherein a drama is performed with a story, good versus evil being the primary theme. There are various performers signifying various different roles, and it begins as well as ends with a ritual and is performed in Kerala. A specific kind of language is used here and is a temple dance art form. Next, we move towards our fourth, which is Mohiniattam. Again, this is performed in Kerala. So, again, this is performed in Kerala. Like Kathakali, also known as the dance of the enchantress. Bharatnatyam, fire dance, Dashiattam, Kathakali, ballad of the East, and Mohiniattam, dance of the enchantress. So from here you can also deduce that Lasya, it will be a Lasya dance form. Feminine, enchantress, feminine, right? Essentially a solo performed by women. So after two dance forms that we have seen, that have been group dance forms. One Kuchipudi, the other one Kathakali. We come towards solo dance form, wherein Bharatnatyam is one and the other one is Mohiniattam, right? References of Mohiniattam can be found in the text. Vyahvar Mala, written in 1709 by M. Narayanan Namputere. Right. So this is the origin, as we have seen. Bharatnatyam has been mentioned in Silapatikaram by Elanco article. In the same manner, the references of Mohiniattam can be found in the text Vyawhar Mala. Can be found in the text Vyawhar Mala, which is written in 1709 by, combines grace and elegance. So when you are calling it a dance of enchantress, it has to have grace and elegance. It has to have the lasya elements of Bharatnatyam with the vigor of Kathakali. Bharatnatyam has grace and elegance. As we have seen, Bharatnatyam combines elements of both lasya as well as tanda. With the vigor of Kathakali, footwork is gentle here. So a very gentle art form, a very seductive art form, as we can say about Mohiniyattam, and that's why it's called the dance of an enchantress. Generally narrates the story of feminine, feminine dance of Vishnu. So again, we find Vaishnavism. Again, we find Vaishnavism in Mohiniyattam, and before we found Vaishnavism in Kuchipudi as well, which is performed in Andhra Pradesh by male Brahmins. Lasya aspect is dominant, as we have seen. So everything, whatever we are seeing here, everything, I think we can deduce it all from here. Enchantress, the use of word enchantress. We have lasya aspects as dominant, feminine dance form, grace and elegance. So a lot of things are used by here and performed by women. So this becomes very important, performed by women. After we have seen Kathakali, all members of the group are male. Kuchipudi, male Brahmins. Here we have women coming back because it is the dance of an enchantress again. Appearance, we have seen a very peculiar appearance when it comes to Kathakali. The use of masks of different color. And now we have white and off-white are the principal colors, no elaborate makeup. The dancer wears ghungru. So the leg is not visible, but however less it is visible, here you can see ghungrus. And the attire you can see, it is mostly, there is use of white, ample use of white. And if you look at the face, there's no elaborate makeup. No elaborate makeup. There is makeup, but the makeup is not very elaborate. So symbolizes the element of air, the element of sky, as we have seen before in terms of in terms of Kathakali, we have seen an element of sky, and here you see an element of air in terms of Mohiniyattam. Musical instruments, various musical instruments are used: cymbals, veena, drums, flute. So these are the musical instruments that are used. In musical instruments are also used in terms of Kathakali, as we have seen, wherein there are two different drum beats. So drum being the musical instrument primarily which is used in terms of Kathakali, wherein two different drum beats are used for the beginning of the dance form as well as the end of the dance performance, right? Then we come to the fifth one, which is Odissi. Earliest examples are found in Udaygiri Khandagiri caves. Udaygiri Khandagiri caves, you would have studied them as well. These are the Jaina caves. These are the Jaina caves found in Odisha, right? So yes, in the Udaygiri Khandagiri cave, you find earliest examples of Odishi. Name is derived from Udra Nritya mentioned in Natya Shastra by Bharat Muni, 5th Ved. Unlike other temple dance forms, right? Young boys who dressed as females and performed came to be known as Gotipuas, a variant practiced in royal courts, Nartala. So this is a dance form which is performed in the royal in the courts, not in the temples but in the courts, wherein there are young boys who dress up as females. So cross dressing is another feature here. Cross dressing. This is a technique which was also used by Shakespeare in his dramas. especially his comedies. We have seen a lot of we have seen a use of an extensive use of cross dressing. So similarly, you find cross dressing here, similar to Bharatnatyam. In use of postures and mudras, there is a use of postures and mudras similar to Bharatnatyam. The Tribhanga posture. So this is a very important posture from Odissi dance form, and you would see a lot of questions from here as well. From here there are questions, from here also there are questions. So yes, Tribhanga posture, the three bended form of the body represents masculinity. Right, unlike Mohiniattam, which was a very feminine dance form, there is a display of masculinity as well. And if you can see here, this is the Tribhanga posture. Talking about the Harappan bronze girl, you find it as well in the Tribhanga posture. So this is the Tribhanga posture, wherein there are three bended form of the body. There are three bended form of the body. First bend appears here, second bend appears here, and the third bend appears here. Right. So this is the Tribhanga posture. Lower body is largely status, and there is movement of the torso. So lower body is generally static. So this part is generally static, and there is a movement, a lot of movement of the torso. The dancers create geometrical shapes and patterns. So shape is very important here. Tribhanga is also a shape. This is the Tribhanga shape or the posture with the body, hence known as mobile sculpture. So look at this. I mean, if you look at the bronze sculpture of dancing girl from Harappa, from Harappa, you see a similar form. And that is why these are called sculptures, but mobile. Because these are humans performing arts, performing dance, but looking like sculptures, very beautiful sculptures. Bhangs, the body posture. So here are the various bhangs, and this is the Tribhanga. This is the Tribhanga, which is found mostly in terms of Odissi dance form, right? No, this is, I'm really sorry here, but this Tribhanga is this. All right. Yeah, so we see here, here, and here. There are various elements in the Odissi dance form. So these are Mangal Acharan, where flower is offered to Mother Earth. There is Batu Nritya, where, comprising of the dance. Pallavi, the facial expressions. Again, this is as important as the elements of Bharatnatyam that we have studied before. So this is as important. So you have Mangal Acharan, you have Batu Nritya, then Pallavi refers to the facial expressions here. Thari Jam, pure dance before the conclusion. So here you have Batu Nritya is dance. Then you have Thari Jam, which is also a dance. However, this is right before the conclusion, and this comprises of most of the performance. Then you have Moksha and Trikhanda Majura. These are the conclusion. So this is the conclusion. The former includes joyous movement signifying liberation, and the latter in which the performer take leave from the gods. So these are the two elements during the conclusion. So moksha, wherein the liberation happens, and then you have Trikhanda Majura, wherein the final conclusion happens and take place. The dance is usually accompanied by Hindustani music. So again, in the next lecture, where we take up music, we'll see that music is again divided. Classical music is again divided into Hindustani and Carnatic music, and herein Odissi dance form makes use of Hindustani music. Instruments used are manjira, pakhawat, sitar, flute, etc. Symbolizes the element of water. Mohiniattam, the element of air. Kathakali, the element of sky. Oddisi, the element of water. Appearance, elaborate hairstyle. Silver jewelry, long necklace. Elaborate hairstyle, you can see here. Next, silver jewelry, all this jewelry is silver. And long necklace, so this is the long necklace, right? In the previous one, you have seen no elaborate makeup in terms of Mohiniattam and an extensive use of white color in the costume. Manipuri, the other dance form being Manipuri, which forms our sixth classical dance form. Manipuri, you would know it would come from Manipur. So this is a northeast dance form. Finds its mythological origin, again a dance form with a religious or a mythological origin, to the celestial dance of Shiva and Parvati in the valleys of Manipur, along with the local Gandharvas. So we have seen origin which is related to mythology. Similar origins we have found in case of Kathakali, which were majorly traced their origin from a piece of Ramayana as well as Mahabharata. So here you have Shiv Parvati celestial dance in the valley of Manipur. Central theme here, Krishna, and mostly performed by females. So Krishna, again, Vaishnavism, like the previous dance form, and is performed by females. So who performs or which gender performs become a very important thing, and you should try to understand that. We have seen that Kuchipudi as well as Kathakali, herein males are predominant. Cross-dressing is there in terms of Oddisi, but here in terms of Manipuri, in terms of Mohiniattam, and in terms of Bharatnatyam, women take the primary role. Lays emphasis on devotion and not sensuality. Sensuality is very much there in terms of Mohiniyattam, which is called the dance of an enchantress. But here the emphasis is on devotion. We have seen religious theme, we have seen Vaishnavism here, and if Vaishnavism is the primary theme here, so devotion would be more important. Hand gestures and gentle feet movement are given more importance than facial expressions. We have seen Kathakali, facial expressions are extremely important, whereas in Manipuri, expressions are not that important, but the gestures become more important. Here again, both Tandav and Lasya are included, just like Bharatnatyam as well as Kuchipudi. Both Tandav and Lasya are included, but an importance is given more to the Lasya elements. To the Lasya elements, we have seen femininity here because it is performed by females also, and herein more importance is given to the Lasya dance form. Appearance, women wear long skirts. We have already seen in the picture that came before that women wear long skirts. See, this is the skirt, very rounded, rounded long skirt. Then Nagabandha Mudra, body is connected through curves in the shape of 8. A recurring theme is Ras Leela. Ras Leela is the recurring theme, and you would be forced to understand that this is a dance based on sensuality. However, sensuality takes a backseat here compared to the element of devotion. Right? The drum is an intricate element of the recital. We have seen the use of drum in terms of Kathakali as well, wherein there are two different drum beats for the beginning of the performance as well as the end of the performance, and here also the drum takes the becomes the intricate element of the recital. Thangta and Sankirtan are influenced by Manipuri dance. This becomes very important, and there are a lot of questions that come from Thangta and Sankirtan. Sankirtan also because I think it forms a part of UNESCO list of intangible art forms. I'm not sure, just look it up. But I think because there are a lot of questions that come from Thangta and Sankirtan, so this becomes a very key takeaway from here and a very important point that should be remembered. Thangta and Sankirtan are also influenced by Manipuri dance form. This is the long skirt that we were talking about. Then body curve in the form of 8. So there is a slight bend here, and then this is the body curve that you see, right? Then we move on to the next one, which is Kathak. So now we come to North India. Origin of Kathak, Ras Leela of Brij Bhumi, traditional in Uttar Pradesh. The Ras Leela, again after Manipuri dance form. Manipuri dance form, Krishna Leela is a predominant theme, and again we see the origin being from Ras Leela of Brij Bhumi, which is traditional in Uttar Pradesh. Derives its name from Kathika, or the storytellers who recited verses from epics with gestures and music. So we have and music. We find that these names are derived from one or the other thing. Dashiattam from Devdasis, Bharatnatyam from Bharat Muni, Kathika se aapka Kathak aata hai. So these are the various dance forms with the etymological importance here. So you need to understand this as well. An important feature is the development of different gharanas. So you see the development of gharanas mostly in terms of music. Music, you have gharanas. Especially Hindustani music, there is gharanas. Hindustani music pertains to North India. And this is one dance form, one classical dance form that comes from North India. So gharanas have to be an important feature of this dance form. So gharanas, Hindustani music, North Indian dance form, North Indian classical dance form is Kathak. So gharanas associated with Kathak, and when classical dance take on the Guru Shishya Parampara, gharanas become a slightly important there, right? So there is a tradition of gharana here. You have Lucknow gharana, Raigad Gharana, Jaipur Gharana, Banaras Gharana. Lucknow Gharana reached its peak under Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. More emphasis on expressions and grace. Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, you would have read it in your modern India. Raigad developed under the patronage of Raja Chakradhar Singh, emphasis on percussion music. So these are the distinguishing features, what they are emphasizing on, right? Jaipur Gharana, initiated by Bhanuji, lays emphasis on fluency, speed, and rhythmic patterns. And then you have Banaras Gharana, developed under Janki Prasad, sees a greater use of floor and lays emphasis on symmetry. Next, there are various elements that are involved in Kathak dance form as well. Anand, which is introductory item. Then you have Thaat. A lot of questions come from Thaat as well, which are soft and varied movements. Then you have Tukdas, small pieces of fast rhythm. Jugalbandi, competitive play. Jugalbandi, I think you guys are also aware of that from its use in music as well. Competitive play between the dancer and the tabla player. Padhant, dancer recites complicated bowls and demonstrates them. Tarana, pure rhythmic movements before the end, which is Pallavi. No. I'm sorry, which is Thari Jham in terms of Odissi dance form, is Tarana in terms of Kathak dance form. So you can also identify the similarities in the elements and then the different names in the different dance forms that are used. Then you have Kramalaya, concluding piece with intricate and fast footwork. So footwork is a very important element in terms of Kathak. This also forms as one of the questions. Gad Bhav, dance without music or chanting. Then you have generally accompanied with Dhrupad music. Which kind of music? Hindustani music we have already seen, because this is a North Indian dance form. So Hindustani music becomes important, and within Hindustani music, Dhrupad becomes an important music form which is used. So yes, this is Kathak. So footworks become very important, and here again you see ghungroos just like in Mohiniattam. And this is a Jugalbandi. This could be an example of a Jugalbandi, because you find the tabla players here and the dancer here, and it seems that there must be some competitive play which is going on between the two. Then you come on to the next one, which I think is the last classical dance form that we are talking about, that is Sattriya. Derives its name from Vaishnava monastery. So we have seen all the classical dance form, most of them comes from the Vaishnava tradition. Manipuri was from the Vaishnava tradition, and here again we find Sattriya from the Vaishnava tradition. Kuchipudi was again from Vaishnava tradition, known as Satras. Inspired by the Bhakti movement. Vaishnavism, if there is Vaishnavism, there has to be Bhakti movement, of course. So this is inspired by the Bhakti movement, amalgamation of various dance forms prevalent in Assam. So this is a consolidation of the various dance forms which are prevalent in Assam and forms a part of the Assamese region. So we have seen two dance forms. We have found two dance forms from Northeast that have acquired the status of classical dance forms, one being the Manipuri dance and the other being the Sattriya dance form. Manipuri, of course, from Manipur, and Sattriya from Assam. Focus is on the devotional aspect and mythological stories. So this is again, this could be one aspect of the Northeast dance forms, because the focus is on devotional aspect in Manipuri dance as well as compared to the sensual aspect. And mythological stories, again, Manipuri dance form based on the mythological story of Shiv and Parvati dance in the valley. So similarly, it is also based on mythological stories. It comprises of the three elements, which is Nrit, Nritya and Natya. In Abhinay Darpan, Nrit means pure dance. Nritya means a combination of dance, pure dance, bhav as well as ras, and Natya means drama. Generally performed in groups. So group dance by males, similar to Kathakali, known as bhukotos. Right? Songs are, I'm really sorry if my pronunciation is wrong here, so you can look it up. Songs are compositions of Shankar Dev. It becomes extremely important. The Shankar, the origin lying in the Vaishnava tradition, Bhakti movement, and how Shankar Dev is the Saint Shankar Dev is related to the Sattriya dance form, or the consolidation of the various dance forms of Assam. Known as Borgeets. This is also very important. So this point becomes a very key takeaway for you guys. Accompanied with the use of cymbals, flutes, etc. Great emphasis on rhythmic syllables and dance postures, along with footwork. So again, a dance form which combines elements of Tandav and Lasya, similar to Manipuri dance. However, Lasya was more predominant here, but there were elements of Tandav as well. Then there are costumes. Talking about the costumes, in terms of Manipuri dance, you had long skirts for female, of course, and the figure was 8. So this was a major posture that was made. Males here wear dhoti and pagadi plus waist cloth. Females traditional Assamese jewelry, ghuri and chador, along with the waist cloth. So you can also see their costumes here. So these are the male costumes. You find dhoti, you find pagadi, and you find an upper cloth as well. And in terms of females also, you find their costume as per the description given here. Modern times, Sattriya has 2 streams. So these are the subsects, or how further the classical dance form can be divided. Gayan Bhayanar Nach and Kharmanar Nach. Then Ankiya Nat. This is another key takeaway for you. Ankiya Nat, which is also a type of Sattriya, which involves musical drama. So musical drama it is, like Kathakali. So this is known as Ankiya Nat, and which is a type of Sattriya and is associated with Saint Shankar Dev, who belongs to Vaishnavism tradition and is a Bhakti saint, right? Originally written in Brajavali, Another similar form is Bhavna theatre, based on the stories of Lord Krishna, Bhavna Theatre. When I began preparing for the exam in 2019, this theatre was particularly in news because of it being performed in Dubai, UAE. The Bhavna art form was performed in Dubai, UAE at that time, and that's why Bhavna Theatre and Ankian art became very important during that time, and I believe they're still important, and hence you should, this also becomes a very key takeaway for you, a point that you should emphasize on. How Bhavna theatre and Ankian art are related to Assam region, to Sattriya classical dance form, to Saint Shankardev, and to Vaishnavism tradition, and to the Bhakti movement, right? Proponents, now we came to our last theme, which is the proponents. If we move back, wherein we were talking about the history, the aspects, and now the Indian classical dance forms, the 8 Indian classical dance forms and their various features, we come to the last part, which is proponents of these 8 classical dance forms. So some very important people who are associated with these dance forms. And it comes as a chart here. Bharatnatyam, the dance form that we started with, the oldest surviving classical dance form. Yamini Krishnamurti, Lakshmi Vishwanathan, Padma Subramanyam, Mrinalini Sarabhai, Malliga Sarabhai. These are some of the proponents of these dance forms, people who are making these dance forms popular. Kuchipudi, Radha Reddy and Raja Reddy, Yamini Krishnamurti, Indrani Rahman. Kathakali, Guru Kunchu Kurup, Gopinath, Kottakkal Sivaraman, Rita Ganguly, Mohiniattam, Sunanda Nair, Kalamandalam Shemavati, Madhuri Amma, and Jaya Prabha Menon. Next, you have Odissi, Guru Pankaj Charan Das, Sonal Mansingh, Sharon Lowen, and then you have Anandini Dasi, Manipuri Jhaveri sisters, Guru Bipin Singha. There are 4 Jhaveri sisters, and Guru Bipin Singha, Kathak, Birju Maharaj, Lachu Maharaj, Sitara Devi, Damayanti Joshi, and Sattriya. There's none written here, but you can always find out for yourself. And then I think with this, our discussion of the Indian dance form ends, and we'll come back to the folk dance forms in the next video, and along with a description of Indian music. So yeah, so with this, the proponents also end. You need to look at the chart that we have attached here, and for further testing of your knowledge, the practice test, the link to the practice test is in the description below, as well as the link to the revision classes is in the description below. I hope you have benefited from this class in any manner. I've tried to make it very comprehensive for you in terms of the dance forms for Indian art and culture. And I believe if you do this in a comprehensive manner, this comprises almost everything that you need for from the prelims point of view related to these dance forms. So I strongly believe that you can rely on this. Thank you.